Hey guys, Chris Cards here with another Through the Mail Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Our first return of 4 this week is from Colorado. And we have Steve Reed. Steve Reed looks like he signed the 94 Stadium Club members only card nicely in black Sharpie. Very cool. Nice signature there. Steve Reed, 14-year career, primarily with the Rockies. Also had a stint with the Indians, Braves, and Mets. There's a 04 Topps total, a 96 Flair right here, and a 95 Fleer Ultra. So some of those cool mid-90s cards always look good with some ink on it. Thank you, Steve Reed, 4-4. He was traded to the Braves for John Rocker. John Rocker went to the Indians, if you guys remember that. Probably not the outspoken John Rocker. There you have it, guys. Awesome return from Steve Reed, a submariner, just like another great signer, Pat Neshek. And there you guys have it, his information. And on to the next. This next return, not much of a surprise, coming to us from Mr. Frank Thomas in Pittsburgh, PA. Not the Frank Thomas that caused Tom Selleck to get traded to the Japanese Dragons. This is the original one, the original Frank Thomas, who played 15 years in the 50s and 60s. 90 years young. Great signer. $5 a card. That is what he charges as far as the donation's concerned. We got ourselves a nice little letter here. That is it. I believe I sent him 58, 59, 60, 61, and 62 tops. So $5 a piece. I sent him $25, and this card on top is a custom he sent. So he sent one of his own. Very cool, and this one's in a Mets uniform. He has a 63 and 64 tops Mets card. And there you have it, signed nicely in blue Sharpie. Look at that cute little bear cub on that card. So 58, 59, 60, 61, 62 tops. Pretty much just ran the board with him. 5 cards, but he sent 6 back signs. So very cool. Very nice signature for 90 years old. Really sweet. Like getting these cards back. He played for Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, New York, Philly. And there you have it, guys. That 62 tops card is a, looks like a Mets card, but it's a very generic looking Mets card. You can only tell it's a Mets card by looking at his team name below his name. So there we go, guys. Frank Thomas, $5 per card. So I sent him $25, and he usually sends people back a nice little note. So let's read this note, and it's a long note, and look how small he writes. This is the back of it, signed Frank Thomas. The original one. Here's the front. Wow, 2 pages. All right. I'm going to have to take some time here so I can read it for you guys. Okay, this might take a while. Look how small he wrote. Dear Chris, again, thanks for the money to help someone less fortunate. You already know where your money will be going because I have written to you before, but in case you have forgotten, the 2 charities are Camp Happy Days, Kids Kicking Cancer, and Courageous Kids, a safe haven for children with cancer. These people give tremendous happiness today to the children who suffer with this dreadful disease. So Chris, I thank you for them. Yes, Chris, I agree 100% that I played in the greatest era in baseball. In my career, I have played with 15 Hall of Famers. By the way, did you ever purchase the collectible photo where I made baseball history by hitting the 4th home run in succession in as many hitters, 4 different Milwaukee Brave players? If you haven't, then you should have this in your collection, because I don't think the record will ever be broken from the time baseball was invented in the 1800s and until June 8th, 1961. The feat has never been done in Major League Baseball. And from June 8th, 1961 to today, to year 2020, still exists. That's true. It's actually happened, I think, 9 more times since then. But it has never been broken, of course. There's never been 5 consecutive home runs in any inning. The last time it happened was last year. I think the Nationals did it last year. Hit 4 home runs in 4 batters. So he was the first to do it in 1961. He is right about that. From the 1800s to 1961, it's never been done. But there you have it. And of course, with the live ball era that we live in now, someone might get 5 in a row, but who knows? We'll see. But he's probably right. A prior will never be broken. And he was the first to do it, and he was the 4th hitter. The other 3 hitters were Hank Aaron, Joe Adcock, and Eddie Matthews. So pretty good collection of players right there. And Frank was the 4th, so technically he was the one that set the record in 1961. I've enclosed another signed card for you, so I hope you like it. And yes, I love it because he's in a Mets uniform. He was with the Mets in 63 and 64. And I think if he's referring to me sending off a request before, I think I had sent him off the 63, 64 Topps cards where he is in a Mets uniform. But yeah, he sent along this custom right here, which is awesome. This is the second week in a row here I've gotten a custom, so pretty sweet. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for that. Let's continue with these, flipping this over and seeing if I can figure out the rest of this letter. This was really hard for me to understand. Chris, I can't thank you enough for your kindness in helping these children who are suffering with the dreadful disease. I have been with these kids playing in a softball game with them where I help them swing the bat to bat the ball and then pick them up and run around the bases with them. If you never have seen the big smile on their faces, you will then know why I have been doing this ever since I left baseball. Not only the kids, but for the families who suffer just as much as the kids do. And these two charities help the families also, Chris. All right, now this last part I really could not figure out. Maybe you guys can help me out here. I've spent probably about an hour. I mean, if you think this looks pretty hard to read, trust me, I've spent about an hour on it trying to write things out to see what was being said here. This last part, I think it says, so if you are donating down in your best, if you have ever know that, I can't get that, but I think the gist of it is this is what I'm doing with your money, with your donation. When I can't read it. I do know the money, all of it goes to the charity. So I'm fortunate that I am able to do that for these kids. Again, thanks, Chris, and God bless you for your kindness. Sincerely, Frank Thomas, the original one, 1951 to 1966. So out of probably, one sentence, maybe two sentences there at the very end where I think he's just kind of going over where the money's going. And I understood, I figured out most of the letter. Very, very, very sweet letter. Awesome guy. That doesn't move you, I don't know what will. So, really cool letter. I thought it would be best. I really felt the need to share that, and I really felt the need to make sure I didn't misspeak for him. So, that is where your money is going when you give Frank Thomas a couple bucks for his signature. Well worth it. And I'm going to actually mail him and ask him about that photo, if that's something he sells or not. So, I'll get back to you guys on that. That'd be pretty cool. And that's it, Frank Thomas. One-of-a-kind return right there, guys. Third return of the day coming to us from Michigan. We have Tim Welke, Major League umpire from 1984 until 2015. He retired after knee surgery, worked first base during Roy Halladay's perfect game in 2010. There's his information. Umpires need love too, guys, and if they make cards of them, chances are I'll send them for TTM requests. So there you have it. Long-time Major League umpire, and not much to say about him. He's worked multiple World Series, multiple All-Star games, decent umpire, and his brother Bill Welke, also a Major League umpire. So there's his info. They're in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Tim Welke signed these two cards. Thank you very much, Tim. And the final return of the day comes to us from New York. I always get excited when I see New York. I always think maybe it's a Met player I sent off to, but it is not. It is actually. It's John Matlack, not a current Met player. Obviously, that'd be pretty hard to do. No one's probably in New York right now, but John Matlack was a Met for his entire 13-year career, I think. He was a Met and a Ranger. He only played for two teams in that time. He came up in 1971 because Jerry Koosman had an injury, so he started in a doubleheader and would have won that game, but it was blown by the Mets in typical Mets fashion. It was blown by Tom Seaver, actually. So Tom Seaver with a blown save in 1971. There's a fun fact for a lot of you guys. There's the Gold Cup card that he signed. I sort of have a PC of Gold Cup and Trophy Cup cards, and there's a 74 Topps horizontal card, which is super sweet. That will go into my 74 Topps set. And there you guys go. John Matlack finished his career with 125 wins and 126 losses. So close to 500, not quite. 1972 Rookie of the Year, three-time All-Star. He Ended his career with a 2.32 ERA. Yes, he was pretty good. And he was pretty dang good, and he's a great signer as well. Signed all 5 of these cards, including the SSPC card. There you see from 1975, although these cards were made for several years, not just 1975. This was the company that Topps sued and said, hey, stop making cards. You can't do that. They're unlicensed, and we are not going to have it. So pretty interesting story there. I told that story on a previous TTM video in much more length and detail. I don't remember what it was, so good luck finding it. But pretty interesting story. Maybe I'll do a full video on that one day. And there you have it, guys. Through the Mail Monday, once again in the books. This one's a little earlier than last week. Sorry they've been a little late. I've been a busy man. Hope everyone out there is doing well. I've been a busy guy the last week, so I've not put up much videos. But I'm going to work on it. I'm going to try and put up a few more videos this week. So we'll try to deliver the goods. And hope everyone out there is being safe and getting through these times as best they can. Love you all. Thanks for watching. See ya.